Thanks everyone for joining us. This is Berenice López. I'm writing you from Mexico. Sorry, I'm speaking from Mexico. And I'm a Hispanic 46-year-old woman. I'm a mother of 2 kids and 1 amazing dog. I'm a wife since 2006, and I'm a global HR director for Pearson for the last 9 years, almost now in December. And I want to welcome you all to the Power of Language Learning webinar series. This is hosted by Mondly Works by Pearson. And I really want to start with one question. Do you think diversity and inclusion are admirable virtues for society, but not necessarily business advantages? Think about it. If your answer is yes, I challenge you to think again. Nowadays, fostering a culture of diversity and inclusion of people from different backgrounds, lifestyles, and perspectives is exactly what today's business must do to compete on the global stage. And this is not just my idea. This is something that many of the world's most respected research organizations are concluding, according to various research and studies all over the world. And that is why our topic for today is diversity, equity, and inclusion as a strategic pillar for global company success. But before getting into substance of the conversation, let me share some important announcements. The first one, please don't forget to answer our survey at the end of the conversation. That is how you will get your participation certificate. The second one, if you would like to learn more about what Mondly Works can do for your organization, book a meeting in the link that you will have in the chat box. And finally, if you have any comments or questions during the webinar, please use the chat box, not the Q&A, but the chat box so everyone can see it. And at the end of the conversation, we will have some minutes to go through all your comments. So if you're ready, let's get started. What is the best way to start? And with a quiz. I hope you're ready for this because I am. So the instructions are pretty clear and simple. You're going to see in your screen a question and 4 options. And what I want you to do is to write in the chat the one that you think that is the correct answer. Okay? It's going to take us like 20 seconds per question. So please be ready to write down in the chat your answers. This is the first one. What is the estimated population of the world today? What do you think it is, guys? 2.5, 8, 12, or, sorry, I can't see this one. Let me change this. 5.4. Lots of B's there. C, Maria was saying C. D. Okay, great. So the correct answer is B, 8 billion. I think we reached 8 billion exactly last week. So there's a lot of people in this world, right? Second question, how many countries does Latin America comprise? I think it's 20. Is it 19, 18, or 17? Let me see your answers. A, C, D. Another D, 17, the D, the A. Okay, a lot of answers. So let's see who's right about this. The correct answer is A, 20 countries. And there are a couple of countries there that are not considered countries. That's why I think somebody put there 22. But those two additional, or I think it's 2 or 3, are not real considered as countries. Next questions. How many languages are spoken this year in 2022? Okay, C, lots of C's. Okay. Okay, so the correct answer is A. And if you're curious about the top 3 languages that are spoken in the world, the first one is English with 1.132 billion. Really close, Mandarin with 1.117 and Hindi with 615 million. Okay, interesting, right? Next question. What percentage of Europe's population lives in urban areas? Do you think it's 81%, 83, 52, or 75? B's, lots of B's there, a D, some C's, 52, CC. Hope you're not Googling it, guys. Don't cheat on me. Okay, the correct answer is 75. That's correct, 75. Good for the ones that respond 75. North America has 83% of the population living in urban areas, Latin America 81%, and Asia 52%. Okay, so let's go to the final questions. What is the generation with the largest population in the world? Is it millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, or baby boomers? What do you think? C, A, D, D, lots of D's, C's, D. I would love to say baby boomers, but no. The correct answer is Gen Z. It's B. Globally, there are almost 2 billion of Gen Z, and they're closely followed by millennials with 1.8 billion. So lots of new generations in the workplace, right? And what is the global female participation in labor force? What do you think? What is the percentage of women working globally? D, A, lots of D's. Another A with Robin. Marianne also says A, Marina, A. Okay, let me share with you that you're right. The correct answer is A. And also a curious data here. The top 3 countries with women in their labor force are, first, Solomon Island, with 85% of their women working. Second, Rwanda, with 82.5%. And in third place, Madagascar, with 81.5%. Could you imagine that? Those I found very interesting some of those numbers, to be honest. And thank you all for participating in this quiz. I think it's really, really important to keep in mind the diversity that the world has. And as business reflects real life, that's why we need to have open conversations to find ways of celebrating diversity in our corporate world. By implementing and promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion practices across the businesses, company can help build a culture where employees feel more valued and therefore become more loyal. Creating companies that are based on human characteristics such as acceptance, mutual respect, and behavioral awareness can really transform workplace for the better, for both employers and employees. And not just that, no, it can have a significant positive impact on brand identity and reputation. Okay, so when we talk about diversity and inclusion, we talk about 3 key concepts. First, diversity that supports being sensitive to the needs of others, regardless of their ethnicity, their cultural background, their gender, their sexuality, their disability. Secondly, equity extends the practice of impartiality to everyone. And finally, inclusion ensures that employees at every level feel respected and comfortable to speak up and share their ideas. Promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout your organization is the first step toward making workers feel safer, respected, and trusted. It builds a sense of belonging, helping to foster stronger relationships built on trust and acceptance between staff and upper management. But it's not only that. The value of diversity, equity, and inclusion extends far beyond the cultivation of acceptance. It can enhance a company's reputation outside of its 4 walls, painting a positive picture of the business and the brand. And I'm not going to lie to you, creating a diversity inclusion, even though it offers clear benefits, it's not easy. It's difficult to implement. A major issue is that most companies believe that they are already promoting a diverse and inclusive culture. However, if you see the statistics, only 40% of the employees agree that their manager foster an inclusive environment. I'm not sure if you know one of the most popular HR influencers and one of my favorites, Brené Brown, but she says we need to do more than diversity and equity and inclusion. We need to create real belonging in our culture. What I truly believe is that DE&I is rooted in two things: connection and belonging. These elements must go together in the workplace in order to make a true impact. To attain this level of success requires investment, in DE&I initiatives, tailored to your company objectives, with expertly designed training to support it. It also requires cross-business support, particularly from leadership who must embody any new company DE&I values. And only then your business can begin to realize the consequential benefits on productivity, on performance, and on corporate culture. So I think by now we all agree that positioning DE&I goals are important. And these are key enablers to your business success. But it all starts with individuals. If this is the first time you're truly and deeply reflecting on how to start a DE&I journey for your organization, I would suggest for you to take some time to assess yourself on how you're doing in three key aspects. The first one is self-awareness and to be cognizant about your own bias. Self-awareness is the root for diversity-conscious leadership. It means that you find clarity with regards to your thoughts and feelings that influence you to act in a particular manner. Once you have established self-awareness as a leader, it enables you to be conscious about your own bias, which means that you are mindful of your own behavior and any unconscious bias tendencies. Diversity-conscious leaders recognize that any biases can narrow their vision and inhibit them from making effective and objective business decisions. Biases does not simply exist on a personal level, they also exist on an organizational level. So leaders need to be mindful of the many dimensions of bias in order to develop real action plans. The second one is to stay curious. Conscious leadership means keeping an open mind. An authentic curiosity to hear and understand other people's perspectives and views means that you favor learning and acquire new and valuable knowledge. This ambiguity in the work environment means that you give importance to diverse insights and promote a culture of collaboration in your organization. Promoting conscious leadership means accepting your own limitations as a leader and seeking the opinions of various others in order to gain more views and understandings. Actively listening and asking questions creates an appetite for continuous learning, for collaboration, and for understanding the perspective of others individuals. If you empower your team to speak their ideas, this will motivate them and leverage various ways of thinking that result in valuable competitive advantage. And the number three is develop your own cultural intelligence. Differences in culture allow different approaches in our work environment, which are needed to continuously evolve as an organization in terms of productivity, efficiency, and innovation. A diverse and inclusive environment establishes a sense of belonging among employees. And when employees feel more connected at work, they tend to work harder and smarter. They produce high quality work. So as a result, and I think we have seen that in various organizations, when you adopt DE&I practices, you can see huge gains in the form of business results, innovation, and even in the decision-making process. So once you have yourself and your leaders are working on these three aspects, you can then become ambitious and start thinking of corporate strategy to embed DE&I as part of the strategic pillar of your business. It's important to start by confirming that this is a top-level commitment, not just an HR initiative. Finding a subject matter expert that can guide you is critical as well. Setting goals and defining how success could look like, it's very, very important. You need to create excitement about your plan, and you need to communicate it to all levels of the organization. This will help you not only engaging your employees, but also winning their commitment and involvement in the execution. Let me tell you that the most powerful practices that I've seen around DE&I actions come from the employees. And for sure, the HR team will be a key player in these initiatives. This is because most of the processes, policies, the projects that impact our employee journey can be used as enabler for those diversity initiatives if you put intentional focus on them. So listening to your HR community and getting their ideas, the concerns, the risk, and the suggestions they have will help you define a plan that is easier to execute. And the final thing I could suggest you to consider is execution. Everything could look amazing on a PowerPoint or an Excel sheet, but execution, constant feedback from your population, ongoing adjustment aligned to this feedback, and communicating the milestone that you conquer will help you definitely on your success. And I think we all know that there are several benefits from having a DE&I practices in your business. I want to share with you some examples of that. For example, reaching a bigger talent pool. If you aren't changing the way your recruiting process is structured, you will always get the same type of people. So expanding your recruitment searches to more diverse candidates, including background, ethnicity, age, it will widen up your talent pool and increase the chance to find best hire. It will increase your employee engagement and trust, because when employees feel included, they are more engaged, and highly engaged employees go the extra mile for the organization. So this higher engagement has a ripple effect on profitability, team morale, and retention. People working in an inclusive workplace tend to have better physical and mental health, so they take less leave for health issues. And what's more important, by building an inclusive work environment, you can instill greater trust between employees and leadership. And this is, trust me, an enormous problem in today's workforce. You can also gain new perspective and try innovation, because your company has a much higher chance of coming up with fresh ideas with a more diverse group. I recently read an article from Harvard Business Review, and it reveals a statistically significant relation between diversity and innovation outcomes. It shows that the most diverse enterprise in terms of migration, industry, career path, education, gender, and age were also more innovative, and they measure their revenue mix. Each of the 6 dimensions of diversity were correlated with innovation. But industry, nation of origin, and gender had even larger effects on companies' revenue. Diverse teams can also better identify products and services that fit the needs of emerging customer profiles. Furthermore, many diverse employees have faced significant adversity in their life. These challenges force diverse employees to hone their expertise and develop excellent problem-solving skills. This can also improve the decision-making process. Diverse teams make better decisions. We have an example, CloverPop, that is an online decision-making platform, examined 600 business decisions that were made by 200 teams. They found that diverse teams have a 60% improvement in decision-making. In particular, gender diverse teams outperform individual decision makers 73% of the time. And teams diverse in geography, gender, and age make better decisions than individuals 87% of the time. Those that actively seek minority voices learn about the issues that diverse employees face. They gain new perspectives and inspire employees to make a difference. And also improve performance. We have already discussed how DE&I increases profits, but this outcome is a direct result of increased productivity and performance. Diversity is a competitive differentiator. McKinsey, which is a consultant that most of you, I'm sure, know, found that for every 10% increase in gender diversity, EBIT rose by 3.5%. Companies with significantly more racial and ethnic diversity are 35% more likely to outperform competitors. And Harvard Business Review also discovered that diverse companies are 70% more likely to capture new markets, which in turn yields higher performance. And the obvious consequence of everything we have already mentioned, you will have stronger business results and prospects. So diversity and inclusion is obviously beneficial to employees' mental health and personal well-being, but it has also downstream impacts good for the business. Okay, so obviously not everything is going to be simple or easy. There will be challenges while implementing your DE&I strategy, but it's always easier if you have them on top of your mind ahead of time. Here, I wanted to share with all of you 4 challenges that I have identified over time. First, you will need leadership involvement and sponsorship of your program. You will need to measure and track your progress. You will also need to have clarity on the areas you're improving. Your managers will be key players in the implementation, so please train them. Give them tools to develop themselves on diverse leadership and facilitate a collaborative environment. Working in silos will make it harder to succeed. And I want to share with you briefly some of our experience while implementing a DE&I program at Pearson, and hoping that this could help you and facilitate your own experience. For those of you who are probably not as familiar with Pearson, let me share a little bit about us. We are a British company with almost 180 years of history. We are the world's leading learning company, and we are the division that focuses on bringing English learning opportunities to more than 45 million men and women all over the world. We have more than 21,000 employees in 70 countries in all the continents, with more than 20 nationalities, speaking 15 different languages from all working generations across 20 different time zones. Imagine the richness we have with this diversity and all the incredible insights and perspectives we can gain if we find a way to enable communication and collaboration between all this amazing population. English is the common tool we have for people to connect, to establish relationships, to interact, and to share ideas. Our manifesto is Be Yourself in English, and we really embrace internally this idea. We love having people from different races, different backgrounds, with different mother tongues from different generations, and we love seeing them being able to bring their own selves to work every day. We try very, very hard to use this diversity while creating meaningful products and experiences for our customers, but also for our employees. We intentionally promote this collaboration, embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion practices in our company so everyone is represented and valued while constructing and executing our business strategy. This year, Pearson bought Mondly, an amazing tool that helps people learning new languages from 43 languages. We offer this tool to all our employees to empower their language skills and to improve their English proficiency. We have Mondly Works for the corporate world. And obviously, at the end of our conversation, you will get in the chat a link to Mondly Works website. So if you're interested in developing English as a business tool for your employee, you can have access there. And I think I talk about the top leadership buy-in of the strategy. So this in the screen, you can see our CEO, Andy Bird. And he has been consistently sharing with our employees, with our stakeholders, with investors, and with our customers, the objective we have to build a culture of belonging where everyone can find a space to be seen, heard, and developed. We have 4 priorities, or 4 main priorities. Recruitment and promotion. And what we do there is we have established recruitment strategies to attract diverse applicant pools. We also implement functional plans to improve gender and people of color representation at all leadership levels. And we have strengthened the processes to accelerate diverse advancement. We also consider retention. So we review the processes to mitigate bias and create onboarding programs to help employees navigate Pearson. We have developed measurable targets from survey data to evolve employee experience and to communicate updates for increased awareness. We have ensured fair compensation and commitment to pay equity. Regards inclusive culture, we have implemented inclusive learning programs that build skills for effectively working with a diverse organization. We are also developing mentor and sponsors program to meet needs of underrepresented identity groups. And we have leveraged our ERGs to enrich relationships and business outcomes. And in the picture with the CEO, I don't know if you notice it, but we have all the ERGs that we have in the company. ERGs goes for Employee Resource Group. So we have Pearson Able, Pearson Bold, Generation, Global Women's Group, Pearson Family, Prime, Spectrum, and Veterans. All of them focused on a specific need, trying to support, train our company with all these specific groups needs in the company. And in terms of social impact, we engage in outreach within diverse communities, including mentorship and learning programs. We develop supplier diversity and procurement programs for new and existing vendors to increase representation and grow diversity investment. And we also promote cultural equality and social equity in products, content standards, systems, and processes. And some key takeaways that I would love for you to have is, I think top management should be championing your DE&I actions. This is a top-down effort, and having diverse members in those management positions will be the best way to support your narrative. Walk the talk is key. Secondly, your policies, procedures, your processes, they should align with your DE&I strategy. It's about consistency. The narrative needs to be supported by concrete actions and ensure that during the whole employee journey, you take this in consideration. And finally, ensure every employee feels part of your diversity, equity, and inclusion actions. It's not an HR metric. It's not just because of brand reputation. It's not just the top leadership goal. This should be a company priority. And the outcome of this should be to have a better and a safer workspace. And if we get it right, as we have seen in the previous slides, it's not just about providing a good workspace for your employees. It's the very direct relationship that exists between being in a good environment to work and the performance that that person is going to deliver. So smart organizations are taking this in consideration, and they are really making intentional efforts to create plans, to start thinking about how we can really improve, not just to, get the quotas that sometimes we are requested to get. It's just because they truly believe in the benefits that comes with all of this. We have talked about innovation. We have talked about diverse markets, emerging markets. We have talked about profitability. We have talked about better decision-making process. So I think that all the impacts are there, and the companies really need to start thinking about this and creating the plans accordingly. Okay? So I think we are almost there at the end of the webinar, but I really want to thank you all for being here, having the interest in creating more and more diverse and inclusive work environments, because I'm sure that when staff feels they are at home in the workplace, they're more likely to be open with their ideas. And ideas are, at the end of the day, what drive company innovation and evolution. Inclusion and belonging are particularly important in today's remote and hybrid working environments. Workers, and I don't know if you have felt this or in your organizations you're feeling it, but with these hybrid work environments, workers can sometimes feel more disconnected than ever from their teams. So I think that cultivating all these attributes can really bring even the most globally dispersed teams together and help them build trust and help them reduce feelings of isolation and the risk of burnout from overwork. Crucially, by enriching your company culture with DE&I, you can also improve engagement and job satisfaction. This means employees are likely to be happier and therefore more loyal and more productive. And for employers, this translates into better staff retention and acquisition rates. This in turn bakes in more diversity and fresh ideas, driving company success and attracting new talent and continuing the virtuous circle. As we saw, we have the new generations in place now in the workplace working, and the new ones are coming closer. And this is, trust me, this is a very important topic for them. So we need to understand the needs of our new joiners. We need to understand the priorities of the people that are coming into the workplace and really attend them and really create plans that can help us retain this talent. The war for talent is there. The market is really open. And I think we all as HR professionals see it on a daily basis. Well, I hope this was helpful. Please reach out in case you want to learn more about how Pearson has been building, this DE&I strategy. We have been working on this for 4 or 5 years so far. It has been challenging, but we have heard also some very interesting learnings from this journey. So if you need to learn a little bit more, please reach out, and I will be very, very pleased to share with you. And if you have an actual challenge in your organization, or you are trying to build on this, please also, I would love to hear your stories and how you're doing with this. Okay. So please, here is the link. I'm sure Laura put it in the chat as well. Here is the link if you want to learn about Monthly Works by Pearson or book a meeting. And don't forget, please, to answer the survey. And once you answer it, you will get the link to download your certificate of participation. And I think that could be very useful for you.